Hello, welcome to Mind Your Business, Mind Your Business. It is always good to be here. And today I get to interview a beautifully fabulous woman. She's Elorm Tsali. She's a seasoned civil engineer and project manager shaping the future of energy in Sub-Saharan Africa by driving the execution of critical gas power projects in the region. Beyond her professional endeavors, Elorm is passionate about nurturing the next generation of STEM professionals. That's STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. She dedicates her time and expertise as a mentor, guiding aspiring talents through initiatives like the Ghana Science and Tech Explorer Challenge Prize GSTEP and the Society of Petroleum Engineers, SPE. Elorm is also a certified counselor invested in developing early career professionals and women in particular. She's the founder and convener of Propel Ladies, which provides training and mentorship for young women in personal development, career, business, and leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to get your water or tea or something. This is going to be so good. Enjoy this episode.
Sub-Sahara Ashanti, a haven nestled at the tip of Kumasi, where fresh air meets serenity. Sub-Sahara Ashanti is a residential learning and event space perfect for your corporate training, staff retreat, group hangouts, and wedding receptions. With 4 rooms and 15 beds, you and your group can sleep comfortably. What makes us special? Sub-Sahara Ashanti is not just a space, it's a commitment. By choosing us, you support community projects empowering women and youth. Join us at Sub-Sahara Ashanti off Aful Junction, Abuabukesi, Kumasi. Sub-Sahara Ashanti, here we grow. Hi, I am Alma Duncan, founder of the Fabulous Woman Network. Before 2015, I was that broke girl who was stuck in her own limiting belief of not enoughness. Marianne Williamson's words, "You are a child of God," woke me up. And then I sought help to work on myself. I still invest heavily in my personal development, and so much has changed for me in the most incredible ways. My burning desire is to see an Africa in which women are empowered to thrive and impact people. I am a trainer, coach, author, social entrepreneur, and an event organizer who is passionate about helping others on their own personal development journey so that together we can all thrive as fabulous children of God. Mind Your Business is our weekly podcast which is free on YouTube. Here we share enriching content to help us all thrive as fabulous children of God. And if you prefer to work with me please go to my website amaduncan.com/store to book a discovery call with me.
Elorm, thank you so much for making time to finally have this conversation with me. I feel like I've been chasing you for God knows how long. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you too for having me, Amma. Thank you. It's a real privilege for me, the fabulous Amma Duncan.
And I'm very expectant that whatever you're going to share today, it won't just speak to someone else, but it will speak directly to me, because I find a lot of inspiration in what you do, And before we even get into it, we actually got connected through Mandela Washington Fellowship. I think you went a year or so ahead of me. And then when I was preparing, you were one of the people I reached out to guide me. So, I had gotten the fellowship, but I didn't know what to expect. So you helped me prepare. I think you were also at Northwestern. Yes.
Yes. I was also at Northwestern.
Beautiful, amazing Northwestern campus. Oh God. Yeah. Before we go into talking about other things, let's just entice our audience. How was the experience for you? Any fond memories?
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. For me, I've been to the US before, but more to visit family, tourism, and for me, Northwestern, right?
I know.
Like, even if you're American and you get to step on Northwestern campus to actually learn there, it was like, oh my goodness, unbelievable. So even just before getting there, I couldn't believe it. And Chicago, it's an iconic city, right?
I know.
To be there. So it was wonderful. And we had some of the lecturers coming in from the Kellogg Business School. I'm like, oh my goodness, this almost like, the dream you never thought would come true. So it was, I think surreal was, I was there and kind of, am I really here? And interacting with all the people from all across Africa. We had people from everywhere, from Zimbabwe all the way up to Senegal. Really great people doing great, amazing things. So it was an experience for me. And the networking sessions they conducted, met a couple of Nigerian professors. So one of the American professors actually reached out to me because she had a follow-up in Ghana a couple of years back. So it was just meeting the people, being on the Northwestern campus, seeing their facilities, interacting with their lecturers. It was beautiful. It was amazing.
It was. And that campus, Northwestern, is like just the most beautiful place. I used to take walks along the lake. Is it the Lake Michigan? I think that's the name.
Yes.
Anyway, I don't want to just keep going on and on, but I always pray that a lot more Africans will get this opportunity to go on either the Mandela Washington Fellowship or any of these beautiful opportunities to go study.
And maybe just an interesting story for you. If you remember when you came for the conference, you mentioned the Northwestern again. Funny enough, Northwestern is not as popular in Ghana. In terms of general population, right? People know Yale, Harvard, and Northwestern is a big name. So you remember when you mentioned it didn't strike a chord with a lot of people.
Yes.
But you won't believe it, there are people who took notice. So one young man he was in our children's service at the time, took notice of it. And when he was looking for schools, he applied, wrote the SAT. He's in Northwestern. He's doing computer engineering, had full scholarship, like 98,000 USD a year, because he's doing an undergrad. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's you think that I'm the mother or the sister. I'm like so over the moon when he told me. So I'm like, sometimes these little things, these little things. But I was so impressed.
Thank you for saying that. Oh God, may I always listen when you say something. May I just say it and never doubt that, this is not important, because you never know. Oh, that's beautiful. Bless him. Bless him.
So we got one young man there, second year. It's amazing.
To God be the glory. And I have to say this, Elorm, you inspire me so much. I was telling you earlier, you're like a full-time mom. You are an engineer, you are a counselor, and you also run ministry. And I don't like a lot. I don't even know how you do it, but that's not the conversation for today, because if we start on that trajectory, we are not ending today. I have had the opportunity to be at the Propel Ladies, one of your conferences, and it was one of my best. Like, as a speaker, I really just enjoyed speaking. I enjoyed that day. I was just in my zone speaking with them, and the feedback, the book sold and everything. I was so surprised that it went so. Or maybe I shouldn't be surprised. By God's grace, it will always go well, right? And I look at you, I'm like, wow, this woman is really passionate. And then afterwards, some of your ladies, you sponsored them to join my program and everything. It's so inspiring, and I'm curious to know your story. What is the story behind you going into this ministry? You're actually an engineer, So how did you end up being a counselor to women and youth, career counseling, and all these things?
And before I go on, I have to say thank you too for coming. Thank you. I know you didn't charge us. We just gave you a token, you know. And the girls were also so inspired, right? Because all the work that you do in Kumasi and beyond, I mean, I had one elderly woman, she brought the teens, and she was like, I'm so inspired by Alma. I should have told you then. I should probably have introduced you. And she's way older, you know, probably getting to the late 40s, thereabout. And, you know, she was inspired and she was so excited to bring her girls over. So thank you for that. So what started this? I think there's just this desire in me to have people, especially younger ones. I'm really passionate, especially about children, youth. I've been doing children ministry for, I think I was 18, so like 20 years now. when I started. And when the issues you hear from your Sunday school children, when you interact with kids. So I have an eye for kids generally, young people in general. When I go to a place, I'm looking at, so when I visit, I'm looking at how they're treating the kids. Do they have a good place? Are they involved? So that's my heart. That's something I'm passionate about. And when I look at my own life and a lot of the things I feel that I should have learned way earlier. I want them to have that opportunity. I don't want them to find out late. Knowing myself, accepting me for who I am, and that drove me a bit into counseling, right? Especially with personalities. One of the books that really transformed my life was Why You Act the Way You Do. Because if you're melancholic like me, overthinking things, you fall into those your depressive thoughts, no matter how smart you are. And by God's grace, I was a smart kid, right? You know, shark.
A brain.
But, you know, shark brain. But even with that, I had so much insecurities. I grew up in a good home, you know, Christian home. My parents loved me. I was the only girl among 5 kids. So, you know, I mean, I was literally my mom's first rival. You know, we will select who will go for which Christmas party with dad. And we are sure, I'm like, no, this party was not too nice. You can go, I'll go to this other one, you know. So I should have felt more secured, but I didn't. And for me, I think a huge part of it also came out of the fact that I didn't know myself so well. I didn't understand my tendencies in order to appreciate my strength and also to know, okay, how do I work with my weaknesses? So primarily, those are some of my concerns. I want people to learn much earlier, a lot of the young people, what I thought that I learned later. Yeah.
Fantastic. So please tell us a bit more about your work with Propel Ladies. What do you do with them? What are some of the activities, you know?
Okay. So Propel primarily want to work with first, you know, knowing yourself. So personal development, know yourself, know your strength, know your natural tendencies. How do you improve yourself? How do you make a better version of yourself? How are you able to see that, okay, Amma is completely different. I'm also completely different. But I don't have to compete. I don't feel intimidated. I accept myself. I love myself. And I'm not okay to rest there. I'm working to improve daily on me, a better version of myself. And we're looking at empowering women also to stand up, you know, for themselves. And these are all things that I personally have been through or felt that I learned a bit too late. Speaking up, I tell a lot of women that sometimes we complain that, oh, society, you know, it's biased. It has its own biases against women, but there are also opportunities for women. A lot of times we hold ourselves back. And I'm like, typically, at work, they are saying, okay, who can do this? At church, can someone lead this? You see 10 guys put their hand up, probably 30% qualified. The woman is 90% and you're still, you know, and I've been there. I've done that. So we want to work with women like, look, be confident. God has given you all the abilities to be able to do it. If you have that ability, step up. If you're hiding behind, you're actually hurting other people because you are a gift to the world and God has deposited something in you. But sometimes you think, oh, I'm humble, I'm not sure. I'm saying, no, you're depriving somebody of the gift that God wanted to give them. And that also gives a new perspective. So we want to work, with to kind of have a mind shift for a lot of women to know that, look, you're capable, you have something to contribute to society. So you're looking at leadership development. And then, of course, especially in the area of, I love career. I love to see Christian and women do well in business, in corporate. And so we also do a lot of work on that.
I mean, that's beautiful. And, thinking about you, as you mentioned that you are melancholic, and then you've been able to break out. I mean, I'm sure you are still melancholic, and perhaps you have a few other, you may be a little bit of sanguine here and there. But then for someone listening who is also not just melancholic, but also very shy, like highly introverted, but you are just charging this person that, look, chick, you've got something in you, I give to the world. This lady wants to speak up, but it's hard. I want you to share, how were you able to get out of that? Or even if it's still something you go through, how do you remind yourself that I am a gift to the world and step out so that hopefully it can help someone else listening who really needs this?
It really needs it. So, like I said, one of the things that helped me was this book, Why You Act the Way You Do. Yeah. Understanding that, look, the things you are going through, it's normal to a lot of people. It's not just you. You are not the only one who is feeling afraid. Sometimes I want to do something. My heart can be beating, bang, bang, bang. I'm even wondering, can't the people around me hear? Because the pounding is not small pounding, like
pounding.
And so when I hear people, I'm like, you're normal. There are so many people, I can't remember, but there are percentages to these things, like roughly this number of people are this. So I'm actually phlegmal, so melancholic, phlegmatic. So very introverted, very shy, open at home, but generally very shy. So how did I do it? One of it was reading this book, which gave me this insight that, look, this is why people are like this. So the sanguine, when they are talking plenty, it's not that they are so confident they know everything. They just like to talk. So relax, don't be intimidated.
I want to talk.
So, it gave me a new perspective, because I was like, hey, I always knew what to say in time. Sometimes you feel intimidated, that part of the fear for us, right? But I realized that, so they're not even processing the thing, or maybe they're even just saying it. You're overthinking the thing, So it gave me... It gave me that opportunity to say that, so this thing you're overthinking it, so relax. So it was helpful for me. The other thing that helped me was really coming to a relationship with Jesus. I grew up in a Christian home, but you go to church and all of that, but really coming to that personal encounter where I came to have that relationship, understood that he's my father. And Elorm means he loves me. And I felt that when I came to that, there was just a voice that told me that you could not have been called any other than me. That's why I don't like it when people call me Rita. Everybody must call me Elorm. It's a reminder that God loves me. God has got me. God, He knew me before He created me. I'm wonderfully and fearfully created. God will not create a useless person. God has created a masterpiece. Ephesians says, for we are His workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good. I'm like, so all of that. And I came to a point where I had all these, memory verses, post-it stick. I had reminders on my phone. And, when you go through the waters, I will go with you, because I really had to deal with fear. There are things that I knew that when I want to speak, it's like the thing is locked up here. It's locked up here. And I'm like, so all the scriptures, it helped me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me. I'm like, so all of this for me, it's that daily affirmation of God's word, what God says about me, and the fact that, look, even if I speak and it's wrong, it doesn't make sense, God has got me. If I make a mistake, I don't make a mistake, God has got me. My future is secured, it doesn't matter. So it freed me to allow me to make some mistakes, to allow me to embarrass myself, to allow me to step up. I mean, the previous Elorm, I won't even organize a program because the whole night I'll be scared. Hey, nobody will come. Oh, nobody will come. Now I organize it. If 5 people come, thank God they have come, you know. So the awareness of the different temperaments, my strengths, my weaknesses, coming into a relationship with Jesus, and really that daily affirmation of his word and who he says I am, really freed me from that. I still have to continue. I'll say it's freeing me.
It's a continuous, and what a lot of introverts and people who are deep thinkers don't know is that some of us, we just fire empty bullets. There's nothing in because sometimes we don't go deep, So one of the things personally as a sanguine I have learned, and I'm still learning, is to reflect and try to be a little more deep, because I can fire a lot of empty shots, but I can do the talking. But it's not just about talking, and what introverts and people who can think, they're so analytical, they're so deep. And when they speak, it's so beautiful. I'm like, wow, that is wisdom. Sometimes people speak and I'm like, oh my God, you are so smart. And for them, it took them forever to get the courage to even say those words. Oh, yes. All introverts, come and let me just pray for you. We need you. Oh God. Now let's talk about you as an engineer. You've worked on 3 continents around the world. I mean, we've talked about your job as helping people develop and all that, but also you are actually a technical person. So you were not someone who studied management from school, but now you are in leadership position. You've been rising through the ranks, working with only God knows the kinds of different people you've had to interact with to rise. And I'm sure there's someone sitting there somewhere watching you and thinking, man, I wish that someday I'm going to rise like this woman. And so I'm going to ask you, to share some strategies to rise. But before then, give us a glimpse of your life as an engineer, mother, career woman, leader, all these different roles that you're playing.
Interesting. Well, today maybe I do a bit less engineering, but at least I still get to interact because the projects I'm managing. It's been the grace of God. I have to say that I've had an amazing career. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed every bit of it. And when you're leaving school, university, you're full of hopes, but you know that it could go either way.
Yeah.
But God has been generous, My first job was with Schlumberger. This was like the largest oil and gas, service provider.
What was the company again, please?
Schlumberger.
Oh, it's a French word because I'm not going to attempt it.
Yes, it is. So it's French origin. At the time, I think it's the top 3. So it was the largest, but there are changes in business structure and all of that. It came to second largest, and me, Ghana girl, the only bugger was go to Togo, go to Nigeria, and my first job was in Azerbaijan.
Oh my God!
Yes,
that is the name we only hear on CNN.
I know, right? I'm telling you, when the recruiter told me, I said, Aza what? Aza. I'm telling you, I didn't know where it was. And it's not these days that we all have smartphones. Thank God I was somewhere in Kotobabi. I went to look for an internet cafe and then Googled it. I'm telling you. But it's been fun, right? Because, our part of the world, yes, you do a lot more of the theory than you do the hands-on. And some of these companies allowed me the opportunity to actually do a bit more practical. They put you out there, you get opportunity to work with very experienced engineers. And it's heartwarming. Today, when I read like some of the worlds I've worked on in Azerbaijan, in Congo, and today I have the privilege of working in Ghana. I handled the project for Talo on the Jubilee field. It gives me a lot of joy, right? We are powering the nation, we are powering economies. It's great to actually solve problems. we are keeping the lights on. Today, the project I work on, we are building a power plant, right? And that's going to add additional megawatts. So it's amazing. I have to say, my job excites me,
Beautiful.
It's exciting because I know that, okay, especially because I've worked in other parts of the world, but this time I'm working in Ghana. I'm excited, I'm putting power on the grid, and I'm trusting that, somebody will not lose their life because the light went off in a hospital. So I have a lot of attachment to that. So it's great. It's exciting. And then as a mother, the kids, I remember one time when we had Doom, so my child was like, but you're giving power and they won't give you power.
I know. They have such a good point. Oh.
It's the simple things. They want you to be there when they're going to play. Like, they want you to bake with them. They want to do pancakes, waffles. And when I'm home too, I'm a mother. I'm a mother. I want to forget not to be too analytical, just want to have fun with them, train them, be there for them. These are all full-time jobs. So it can be a struggle sometimes. I have to tell you, there are times that sometimes I'm feeling bad. I'm like, oh, my mom didn't do this to me. Why am I doing this to these kids? Because, sometimes you have to travel for business. You have to be on site, long hours. So it's a bit of a challenge, but by the grace of God, I've been able to combine it. My husband is very supportive because some of the things I really don't want to do. It's like, oh, go, I'll take care of them. So it's good to have that support. If not, of course, the work is full time. Being a mother is full time, but we figure out a way to work. And of course, ministry for me, it's why I'm also here. In the whole scheme of things, I want to please God. I know I'm here because God gave me the opportunity to live and to also glorify Him. So for me, no matter how tired I am, when the thing is important to you, you find time for it. And so for me, I listen to what does God want me to do. And one of the things I found is working with women, working with children. That's why I love Sunday school, regardless of, when I used to go offshore, I was still, whenever I get the chance to come back home, I want to do Sunday school. So by the grace of God, I'll say that I managed to mix all of this. So this is how my day usually looks like: a bit of engineering, a bit of people management, a bit of baking new recipes.
Scones. Today's scone should have my name on it somewhere. I have to come to Accra for my scone.
Baking scones, baking scones and preparing Sunday school lessons.
Oh my goodness! Like you're such an admirable lady. And the more I talk to women like you, the more I'm like, actually, people are doing things. Stop making excuses. I'm not saying that you do everything perfectly, but whatever you put your mind to, you do. I saw that conference you did. It was amazing. And right here in Kumasi, you don't even live in Kumasi. It's just fabulous. And I've had the privilege of speaking to women like you, and I always get encouraged that, look, Amma, it is possible. Others are doing it and excelling. What is it that you want to do that you are complaining and moaning as if the whole world has fallen on you? Woman, just take it one step at a time. And you're such an interesting Elorm. Now, you mentioned that you're welcome. You mentioned that now you're doing project management. So I'm sure you're not doing like the technical work that you used to do when you were, lower in terms of ranking. And you've been able to write. And you're also quite young. Like, you are fresh. And you've been able to rise and work in names countries we can't even mention and all that. What are some of the strategies you applied to get you to move out of just technical to higher up the ladder to a point where I won't be surprised if very soon somebody will be GM of a certain company that starts with Jean? You never know, I was thinking about you and I was thinking about names like the Lucy Quist and all. Like, yeah, there has to be something that you did along the way that you can hopefully share with the rest of us, especially for someone who is also technical. but also wants to rise? Please.
Yeah, so I'll say some of the things that I stumbled in, and thank God for mentors, thank God for people who, look out for you and pull you in. Like I said, melancholic, phlegmatic, I'm shy, I'm in my corner, I want to do my work. And that's how, unfortunately, a lot of technical people end up, you're doing the work, you're the engineer, and you're just focused on engineering. And that's how I kind of started. But thank God, I had people who kept, my first mentor, she was a French lady. One of the things she said that stuck with me, said, Elorm, make yourself heard. Elorm, make yourself heard. And I like the way she put it, because it stuck with me all these years. This was somewhere with 2009, right, or 10. She didn't say, Elorm, speak. She said, make yourself heard. Because you can speak and not be heard. You can be in a space and not be heard. Make yourself heard. And I thought, but sometimes we think that it's other people that need to recognize the work that we do. For a technical person, by all means, have your technical expertise on point. Be competent at what you do. But beyond simply being competent, it's not enough. Because a lot of engineers, okay, do the calculations and that's it. You are not interacting with the people that make the business decisions. You're not tying it into, okay, how does this, my calculation in the end, impact the P&L, the profit and loss? Because it's a business. Nobody is running a charity. So you need to be able to show that you're able to connect your work to the business outcomes, the business goals. So one of the things that very early, so this lady, what she kept pushing me to do was, Elorm, you need to communicate. You're good technically, but nobody is going to come and say, oh, Elorm is so good technically. You're working in a team. In the end, we see the work done. But how do we know that it's you? And I had a real experience, and I understood why she was pushing me so hard. One, first time traveling out of the country, I was in a completely different place. Even though I had built my self-esteem to a certain point, when I got there, I realized that I had folded back in. This was one of our VPs, yes, global VP, very big person who had come to visit the facility at Azerbaijan, Baku then. And I remember she had started a job with me. You start junior engineer, you're preparing the tools, you have to prepare the tools before you take it. She started with me and she left me. And she thought, she was so worried, oh, can you do it before I came? By the time she came, I'd read through the procedures, I've spent time, I'd called technicians, I did everything, packed it. So it was my job. And she was like, look, Elorm, you've done so well, I'm impressed, you're going to go with me to the job, because we're preparing for a job. This VP came, and of course, he's doing like a walk around the whole facility. He gets to the workshop where we are, and he points to the gauges, like, oh, I see you prepared these gauges. This young British young man jumps in and says, yes, we've done. He talks a lot of English. He didn't say that he had done it, but the way he presented it, it looked like he was leading the team to do it. This guy didn't help me. He didn't put anything. What happened after that was that this VP asked that, by the way, the two of us were trainees at that time, field engineer trainees. The VP has specifically said that this young man is promising. Let's put him on the job. This is a high profile job that usually it was for, I think it was for Shell. They don't want a lot of juniors, right? Because you don't know what you're doing. Somebody has to be with you. My mentor did what she could do. Heaven and earth talked for me. I wasn't getting on that job. This other young man who had not prepared, it was painful. It was painful. She protested. She asked me to go to my manager, make the same complaint. My manager's like, look, what do you want me to do? Global VP is asking me to put this other young man there because he's got potential. He needs to go. I can remove him. What if he follows up? What is this young man? So I realized how much it can cost me just being, because I did the work.
But
easy to blame. But he communicated. He communicated. And I'm like, he's like, and we did this, and we did this. I said, hey, oh yeah, you never came to help me. What is this? We. And the we cried. He wasn't pointing his hand. Oh, Elorm and I.
we.
That is how my friend went on that job. And it delayed my promotion, because for a technical person, they have certain kind of jobs that you needed to do to get to your next step. And these are all things that I know that, look, I cost myself. So one of the things that I've done and I keep learning is how to communicate. Share your dreams. Tell people. There are a lot of young men who can go to their bosses and say, oh, I've been doing this kind of project for a long time. Now I'm looking for a big project too. Very few women will walk up to their boss and say that, look, I'm good where I am and I want more. I want to do more. We don't put up our hands for that. So you need to communicate what you're doing. Communicate. Don't just assume that people know. Let the people, especially that matter, know what you're doing, how that's contributing to the overall business goal. And also to communicate your dreams, your desires, where you want to go. Because for a lot of women, they think that, okay, we are good, we are okay where we are, but maybe you want more. So apart from saying that, oh, I'm good, I'm doing this well, tell them also that, no, this is my dream. I want to be general manager. I want to be CFO. I'm looking at growing into this role. What do I need to do? So those are some of the conversations we need to start having. And by God's grace, I'm learning, I'm doing it. And I can tell you, it's reaping the benefits, being able to communicate the value I'm bringing and also my dreams, where I want to go. And definitely also, when you talk about competence, a lot of technical people think just if you're a civil engineer, you know your civil. Competence also means competence in terms of your knowledge of the industry, of the business. So this is the market in which we are. So just beyond your everyday, my calculations, my turbines, they are working, you want to look at the market so that when you're in a meeting, you're not talking just very narrow-minded, but you're talking more broad-based in terms of, oh, this is where I see the market going. This is where I see opportunities for us. So be competent about the market, your customers, your stakeholders, what can impact your business. So signing up for newsletters, reading industry news, those kind of things. And so I'll say those are some of the things. And definitely for me, I'm like, look, be somebody who helps people. Be that person who is willing to help other people. Help juniors when they come in, help your seniors. Be someone who offers help. If you can do something, put up your hand and do it. Don't think that, it's not my scope. People do just their work and are not willing to assist other people in the team here.
Wow, what a beautiful and powerful story about making yourself heard. And I originally wrote make yourself heard, and now I've written by the right people. I've added, so make sure that the right person is hearing you. And I'm sure God gave you this experience just to teach you what your mentor had been talking about all this time. It's such a beautiful testimony, and I pray that the rest of us won't have to go through it to learn. We have learned from this. We have learned. This is enough pain for all of us. Oh my goodness, such a beautiful, I've learned, I wrote, things, communicate your desires, make yourself heard by the right people, seek mentorship. And, when you get that mentor, also listen, and then being helpful to others. Actually, when you said the helpful, I remember I heard someone say that, I think a woman was speaking and said, women sometimes are very helpful, but in areas, they use the word, that are not promotable. Like, oh, I'll go and make the coffee, or I'll serve this and that. Please touch more on that for me. So when you say helpful, where exactly?
Yes. So like I was saying, with your team members, there are other, so for instance, we all have our jobs that we do. You could be in HR, but you're also very good with computers. So if someone is struggling, I think I can give some pointers. You've been doing things this way. could you do it differently? Be someone who shares ideas, because it allows people to know who you are, your capabilities. So it's not really your job, but you're extending a help because you think, okay, we did this and it can work. In my previous role with oil and gas, I assisted the safety person, because GE Oil and Gas at the time, it was a new business for GE. GE is primarily turbines, healthcare. So they didn't have as much experience. And coming from an oil and gas background, the safety standards are really high. I'm not a safety person, but it gave the leadership the opportunity. So I joined GE Oil and Gas as a project planner, right? But I assisted the safety person so much that, okay, this was some of the things we were doing and it was helpful. This, for instance, a visitor comes. It's not every time you have to go and work the person. Can we do a video, minimum this? And all of those things gave me some form of visibility, because it's not just caring about my job, but I was caring about the safety of people. Okay, when visitors come, how are you receiving them? I'm pointing out these things, and they're recognizing that this is someone who can take responsibility, who's a leader, who's looking for opportunities to make the business better. So I spent less than a year in that role, and then I became a project manager because they signed a new contract, and they would have advertised for the role. They're like, look, Elorm, that role is for you, literally. And so it's some of these things. Definitely making coffee. It's one of the things, especially if you're a woman engineer. Let people respect you. Not to be arrogant, because there are times you do things for others. Grab water for me, because I also, you're going to the coffee room, can you bring me a cup of coffee? But don't take on that role.
Exactly.
So don't take on that role. You sit in a meeting that I take minutes, every time take minutes, or go and make tea for me. I'm not there to make tea for you, So not that kind of help that, impacts the business, because in the end, we're there for business, and you can help people on a personal level, but that, okay, this I'm doing it for you because you're my friend or I care about people. But when I mean help in terms of professional development, helping other roles that may not directly be your role, but with ideas that move the business forward.
Fantastic answer. Fantastic. You are a guru, honestly. You are. You've shared so much with us. And before I let you go, I have a few more questions. These are quick answers. So I'm just going to begin the sentence and you complete it with whatever the Holy Spirit leads you to say. So the first one is, if I could advise my younger self in one sentence, I would say,
speak up, Elorm. You are more than enough.
Thank you. You're more than what? Enough?
Enough. Yeah.
Thank you. Second one, I am fabulous because
I'm a child of God and He loves me.
I know. I should have met you a long time ago for you to just tell me, Amma, that's all you need. You're already fabulous. You don't need to chase anything. Oh, God. Last
Go to His time to make me, that's all.
Oh, my goodness. Last one. One book that has greatly helped me in life is...
Amma, this one, let me make it 2 books.
I like it. The more, the better.
The Tim LaHaye book, Why You Are the Way You Do, and then Lay People in the Ministry by Bishop Dag Heward-Mills, because it changed my mindset about how I do ministry. And for him, ministry, he talked about, Sunday school, ushering, helping people, whatever. And the analogy that stuck with me, it was like, the way you are doing that work you're doing, if that's how your pastor was doing his work, would you be happy, or do you think that he would have a good recommendation with God? Because, we think that, hey, pastor, because I told my pastor should be praying for me. The whole week you have gone, you have not prayed for me. And I thought, hey, Elorm, those days I started Sunday school. Sunday, I take my bag and go. When I come back, I don't think about the children. So it made me take what I do personal. So whether it's Sunday school, whether it's just, so why I went for a counseling certificate, because the kids come to me with a lot of issues. I'm like, Elorm, don't be giving them non-far this thing, no. So learn more. So he made me take it like World Cup, even if you're cleaning the chairs at home or serving kids food at school. It changed my mindset about service to others.
Fabulous, fabulous. You've shared your email with us and you've allowed us to share it publicly. So I'm going to share it with us. But I also want to know, on social media, LinkedIn, anywhere, where do people find you and become part of your amazing ministry and everything that you're doing?
Yes, I'm on LinkedIn, Elorm Tsali. So Elorm Bansa, you can find me, or Charlie. Facebook, same name. I'm on Twitter, but to be honest, I've not been on Twitter for like ages. So Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Yes, okay. LinkedIn. I'm very accessible there.
We'll look for you. And I mean, I feel led to ask you if you have any final words for us before you go.
Final words. If I'll share with the final words to my fellow melancholic, phlegmatic, introverts, like I said, look at Amma. So I mean, Amma is always, broad, smart. She doesn't have any problem. And country broke, country no broke. Amma is laughing. But she has problems, so don't let her intimidate you. So, like I said, look, you're beautiful, you're a gift, because you're a gift, you're a gift, you're a gift. So you keeping quiet, you shielding yourself, and you're not only limiting yourself, you're not only hurting yourself, but you're hurting somebody else who is connected to you. Why God brought you to be in this Ghana, in this broke Ghana at this time, to bless somebody's life, and you're denying that person. So connect with others to bless them and also to be blessed. And not to say that my sanguines, my cholerics, I don't love you, I love you. And if you are a choleric, a sanguine, whatever, God made you like that, and He knows why He made you like that. Just be a better you. Just be a better you.
Yeah, better you. Thank you so much, Elorm. And please say hello to your lovely family, your husband and your kids and your extra kids and all of that. And enjoy the scones without me.
We'll send you a picture of the scones.
Sub-Sahara Ashanti, a haven nestled at the tip of Kumasi, where fresh air meets serenity. Sub-Sahara Ashanti is a residential learning and event space perfect for your corporate training, staff retreat, group hangouts, and wedding receptions. With 4 rooms and 15 beds, you and your group can sleep comfortably. What makes us special? Sub-Sahara Ashanti is not just a space, it's a commitment. By choosing us, you support community projects empowering women and youth. Join us at Sub-Sahara Ashanti off Aful Junction, Abuabukesi, Kumasi. Sub-Sahara Ashanti, here we grow.
Oh my goodness. Did you feel it? The goosebumps. It was just goosebumps upon goosebumps. I mean, women like Elorm, they are just amazing. And it's so nice to know that there are women like her out there. And there are women like you and men like you out there doing amazing things and just responding to the call of God on your life and being a blessing to people, your family, people who don't even know you and all that. God bless you all. God bless you. I really enjoyed this interview. I've taken nuggets. I shared them already. I'm already big on mentorship, and now I'm even charged to actively seek more mentorship. And then, the bit about making yourself heard by the right people. Oh my God. That is forever going to stay with me. That story, I really, really hope it, whatever God has for you from this interview, I hope that you took it and you're going to run with it. Until I come your way again, God willing, next week with another episode of Mind Your Business. And before you go, let me just remind you that if you're a woman and you're not in the Fabulous Woman community already, then you are more than welcome. It's open to all women, especially African women business leaders. We do a lot of trainings, we do programs and all that. This is just the community, not even the organization, which is the Fabulous Woman Network. We welcome all women to be part of us. We do online meetings quarterly. We also do offline events like IFAB, which is coming up, God willing, next year in March. So please register to join us if you haven't already. You can look for the link in the caption and just let's community together. Let's be of value and blessing to each other, and let's support each other to keep growing and serving as God wills for us to. So yes, don't forget to also like, subscribe, and then send this video to someone else who needs it, okay? I will see you again, God willing, next week. Ta, toodles. Bye.
Mind Your Business is one of our free resources available on YouTube. And if you prefer to work with me one-on-one as your coach, the consultant, or as a trainer, it starts with a discovery call. Head to amaduncan.com/store to book a discovery call with me.